Hola, muy buenas a todos. Bienvenidos a Eurovision Info. Hoy tenemos el placer de estar con Lion y aparte tengo a mis compañeros, a Samu, bienvenido, Felipe, bienvenido.
Buenas.
Hola, ¿qué pasa?
Hi Lion, welcome to Eurovision Info. How are you with your presentation with the Spanish fans with yourself?
Hello, ¿cómo estás? Spain fans of Eurovision. So yeah, I'm Lion Ceccah from Lithuania, and I'm participating in Eurovision this year. Yep.
What is
Everyone knows you as Lion Ceccah, but your real name is Thomas Ceccah.
Yes, my real name.
How did this project came about?
This change of my name, yeah?
Yeah.
So yeah, 2 years ago I was Lion Ceccah, my last stage name. And my surname is Lion Ceccah, as you hear, my real surname, Thomas Lion Ceccah. And like 12 years ago, when I decided that I need more of a big stage name, as Rihanna, Beyonce, I decided to change it to Lion Ceccah because I was working with this Italian brand, Chicco d'Oro. It's a coffee brand, and all the old ladies started to name me Chico Boy. Chico Boy. Yeah, and it grew on me, and I thought to myself, oh, it's very good for me because I have this surname that starts with Chicas, Alen Chicas. So I changed my surname into two parts. So my name became Alen and then Chico. So that became my stage name. And 2 years ago, I decided that I need a new start, and I just in anagram way I mixed the letters, and it became Lion Ceccah, and it's symbolic because my sign is lion. So that was a very good new start for me as an artist. And Ceccah, it doesn't describe the gender, so it's either woman or man or in between. So it's very on brand for me.
Hi, Lion. Welcome
Hey.
to Spain Eurovision Info. Well, moving on to Eurovision. This year, your song is called Solo Quiero Más.
Yes.
Why did you choose the title in Spanish, and what is the message that you are trying to express with the people?
Yeah, so I have more languages in my song. So I have 6 languages, and in my performance, I'm using sign language to express that phrase. I just want more, but for me, this song is not just a song. I always wanted to mix all the sounds from different cultures, and the language itself, it's a sound that we are, as a human beings, we are capable of doing. So that was very interesting for me for a lot of years, but I was actually afraid to use a lot of languages because I'm not speaking in those languages. But this year and last year, I decided that this shouldn't stop me from creating different things, even if I'm not fluent in those languages, because I'm not actually fluent in pop scene. I'm not fluent in opera, but I'm using all the elements in my art. So in autumn, I listened to Rosalia's album, and she put like 13 languages, and that was the sign for me that I have to um, make my ideas come to life, because I thought about using a lot of languages before that album. So that was a sign from very big artists for me to keep pushing my boundaries that I have on myself. And the first thought how I wanted to sound this year was this, feeling from my teenage years, when I was watching a lot of Spanish telenovelas, and what it gave me, this freedom, this very, you guys, if you from Spain. So for me, as this northern, country human being, the Spanish language itself, it has this, fire, this breath of life. So I wanted to, that feeling to be shown in my, song. So solo quiero más, those words, it came to me, spontaneously, and I didn't know actually what those words meant. Then I Google translated, and actually it was something more of a solo quiero, quieres más, more words. And it was just, from that collective mind that I have from my teenage years. So when I translated it, I did some correction. It became this solo quiero más, and it actually became the standing ground for the song, that, inner feeling to want more, to do more, and break from all the boundaries in the world. And that became the anthem for me personally. But when I'm thinking, collectively, of cultures, of, the humanity and people, we are all connected by this feeling to want more, and grabbing life more, even we're living in, bad times and wars and something like that. But we always want to do more, and keep on going at every point in life.
Yeah. 3 months ago, you winning the Eurovisión, and last year you finished second.
Yes.
How do you remember that moment with on your first when you say your name? Which is your first word you think in that moment? And
When I won, yeah.
yeah.
I don't know if maybe one word can describe that, feeling, but I was, this. I was really tired actually at that moment, because I had this, silver paint on me for a whole day, and I was like, I want to get out of it. Yes, finally, I have to perform one more time, and I can, wash it off. But I was actually in a shock a little, because it's not happening every day, especially for me. I'm famous in Lithuania of taking second places, so it's not happening for me every day to win something and that big. So yeah, that was shock for me, and I was like, I was happy but very tired. Yeah.
The stage in Eurovisión is highly theatrical, and you're completely immersive in the performance. Will everything stay the same at Eurovision, or are you going to some change in the
Yeah.
performance?
So yeah, we had finals in Lithuania really late this year, so we had just 1 week to, send all the files, all the descriptions about our performance, and if we're going to do some changes, it had to be very fast. So we didn't have time to, came up with this, we had beautiful idea, but if we're coming up with something new, there's no time for that, because you have to, prepare everything, send everything, all the details, photos, and the team. So yeah, the performance is gonna be, I think, I don't want to, spoil everything, but it's gonna be stylistically the same, but we're accepting, this is Eurovision, so it's gotta be bigger, better, brighter, bolder, and everything. So we did some changes, and you will see that in May. It's gonna be, I think, more impactful. So what we're thinking more that we can change is about camera angles, because Eurovision is about the vision and how camera is filming, about the perception and point of view there.
Well, you have taken part in a lot of pre-parties this year. How was the feedback with other contestants of the show, and how is your connection with the audience, with the fans?
So yeah, I met there were like 17 other acts from other countries. So I met, I think, most of them, and we had, yeah, really fun chats. The vibe is very good. Everybody's happy, but it's just the beginning. We have like 1 month and a half, so I think at the end we are all gonna be more exhausted. But the vibe is good now, and with the fans, I really had most wonderful time on the stage. Even it was very quick and fast, but the fans are singing my song. Is the solo Kiramas phrase and that melody is very stuck in your head. So everybody, and the contestants and the fans, they know the main phrase, they know the meaning. So it's very heartwarming for me that my song is sang, and they're singing it everywhere. So yeah, I think I'm keeping building this very beautiful connection, and the Eurovision is not a destination, it's just a stop.
Yeah. Well, this question is about me because you meet with Delta, yes, in the pre-parties.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
met her, yes.
Who is,
Amazing.
because is my one of the best artists in the world. I'm very fan. Who is she in meeting person? He's is very sweet. It's very funny. Or who is your that?
Yeah,
Who is
she's
she?
very sweet, and what I um mm, what I saw, that she's very professional. She's very media trained. So everything I ask or everything I say, she's like have instant answer, instant wish, or she's like a mentor. Yeah, and very down to earth person.
Yeah.
As we spoke just for 3 minutes, but that's enough to see that she's very warm. Yeah, so actually myself, I'm a fan. So when I was talking to her, I was really nervous because I'm meeting this worldwide superstar. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Talking about Eurovision, have you followed Eurovision in previous years? And what's your favorite song in Lithuania's history? In general, the contest.
Okay. So yeah, I'm a fan of Eurovision since my childhood. In Lithuania, for us, Eurovision is just more about 1 day celebration. So we're all cheering for Lithuania. We're deciding who's better, who's worst, and I think all the countries has that. And last year for me, of course, we were with Catharsis, we were favorites in Lithuania. So I was very I had this connection with them because I had a lot of conversations, and we had this after party after they won. So I was really cheering for them because they're very risky choice for Lithuania, and for me that's the goal, to go and risk, and not be the same, and very um basic, as I can say. So yeah, for me, last year was very beautiful, because we send this risk act to Eurovision. And for me in Lithuania, Monica Liu started this, this path, that we're not thinking safe and going with something unique. So I think the the biggest impact Monica Liu had on me when she were participating, and she's, she's my icon here in Lithuania. And if I'm looking to whole picture of Eurovision, I think the biggest idol for me is Loreen, because she has this, unique flavor to just herself. She's not doing anything. She's doing just Loreen, and people see that, and maybe that's why she won 2 times. So if you're asking me what's my favorite, act, I think not the act, just Loreen presence is, most impactful for me from Eurovision. And of course, if you're thinking about more of um, act itself on the big screen. So I think Bambi Thug 2 years ago was, this blueprint for me what Eurovision can and how cameras can work, how lighting can work, how the movement can work on that big stage. So yeah, those two artists, I think.
Talking about yourself, what project do you have for the future after Eurovision?
So this year, actually, I really want to rest, because 2 years in a row I'm competing, and competing is not in my agenda. I don't want to compete all my life. I want to create more than compete. So I want to rest actually after Eurovision and go on a holiday. But I already know that I have some gigs and concerts, so I have to first do that and later rest. And after that, I want to release some songs and album. So that's the main goal for me. I want to create some even more weirder music, and spread it to the world and Europe.
Yeah. Well, when finished this interview, thank you for your time. Thank you, and very good luck with Eurovision in Vienna.
Thank you.
Spain not participate, but maybe both with both for you in rest of the world. Who is the message you can transmit our fans with Spain Eurovision Info?
Okay, so thank you very much. And Spain Eurovision fans, don't be sad. I have Spain in my song Solo Quiero Más. And let's cheer Spanish language this year in Eurovision in May. And have a great, great show, you guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much, Lion.
Thank you.